Today we're taking a look at these NHL matches, which are happening on Tuesday, March 21st, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comments section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. Columbus Blue Jackets vs Washington Capitals. Washington has faded at the wrong time as they are simply running out of games to try and get back in the playoff picture. The Capitals have dropped 5 of 7, but they get the edge of playing a team that is going absolutely nowhere at this point in time. Columbus has been dismal keeping the puck out of their own net this season, and that's a major problem for them. The Blue Jackets have been mediocre offensively, and they are not a good team on the road this season, posting an 8-21-5 mark this season as the visiting team. Washington needs a win here in order to stay in the playoff chase, and they take advantage of a team playing out the string to put this one in the win column. Our team pick is Washington Capitals. Despite scoring 2 or fewer goals in 3 of their past 5 games, Columbus games have gone over the point total in 4 of the last 5. The Blue Jackets have allowed their opponent to score 4 or more goals in 8 straight games. The Blue Jackets rank second to last in the league in goals allowed per game. Columbus has gone over the point total in 6 of their last 7 games. Washington has gone over in 5 straight games, and they or their opponent has scored 5 goals in 5 straight games. The last game played between these two teams did go over the point total, with 7 goals scored in total. Both defenses rank toward the bottom of the league in several key categories. Most signs point to a higher scoring affair. Look for this game to go over 6.5 goals. Tampa Bay Lightning vs Montreal Canadiens. Montreal has struggled of late, getting lit up repeatedly during their latest slump. The Canadiens are at home here, but that doesn't necessarily help them as they have sputtered to a 14-17-3 mark as the home team this season. While Tampa Bay hasn't been great on the road, they are still above the .500 mark at 17-16-1 as the visiting team. The Lightning are still trying to leap Toronto for home ice advantage in the opening round, but trailed by 3 points, while the Maple Leafs had 2 games in hand entering Monday's action. That means Tampa Bay has to take advantage of games against weak competition. Based on their recent success against Montreal, you have to back them here, even with playing their 3rd game in 4 nights. Our team pick is Tampa Bay Lightning minus 1.5 goals. Lightning games have trended over this season, with the over in their games going 37-27-7 this year and 6-3-1 in their last 10 games. Montreal has trended over recently as well, with the over going 7-3 in their last 10 games and 4-1 in their last 5. The last game between these teams just went over with 8 total goals on Saturday night. Tampa's offense has been very good, scoring the 7th most goals in the league and generating the 6th most expected goals and the 11th most high-danger shots in the NHL. The Habs have allowed the 4th most goals in the NHL, having given up the most expected goals and the most high-danger shots in the league. I expect plenty of goals here, and the Lightning have been inconsistent defensively, so the Canadiens should be able to score as well to put this game over the total. Take the over. 6.5 goals. Ottawa Senators vs Boston Bruins. The Bruins are back on a roll after an ever so brief rough patch to start their 5-game road trip. They now have the advantage of facing a struggling Senators team on the 2nd night of the back-to-0 back. On the season, this is just the 2nd time this year that the Senators have played back-to-back games, and they lost their only other second end of the back-to-back. Ottawa is just 20th in goals allowed this season, and that will not bode well against a Boston team that is hot and scored 17 goals in the last 3 games. Boston has not shown any signs of slowing down this season, and that will continue in this matchup at home. Take Boston with the puck line. Both teams have been excellent in terms of killing penalties this year, as Ottawa is 7th in the NHL with an 82.3 kill percentage so far, while Boston is atop the sport with an 85.8 penalty kill percentage up to this point. These teams have been doing decently well at limiting shots against them throughout the year, as the Bruins are 8th with 29.6 shot attempts per game, while the Senators are 20th with 31.6 shot attempts per game right now. The under has hit in 6 of the last 7 games against one another, so go with the under in this game as well. Minnesota Wild vs New Jersey Devils. The Wild have won 4 of their last 6 games and 5 of their last 6 road games. They are playing well offensively, scoring at least 4 goals in 5 of their last 6 games. They have also played well on special teams, converting over 22% of their power play opportunities. The Devils do a good job killing penalties, but their defense hasn't been very good in recent games, with the team giving up 14 goals in their last 4 games and will have a hard time slowing down the Wild in this game. The Devils have lost 3 of their last 4 games and 3 of their last 4 home games. They struggled defensively in recent games, scoring only 7 goals in their last 3 home games. They have played well on special teams, converting more than 21% of their power play opportunities. The Wild are good at killing penalties, and they don't give up a lot of goals, so expect them to keep New Jersey's offense in check. Go with Minnesota to cover the money line. When looking at the penalty kill percentage this year, these teams have been doing pretty well, as Minnesota is 14th in the sport with an 80.3 kill percentage, while New Jersey is 9th in hockey with an 82.2 kill percentage up to this point. Both of these defenses are not allowing many shot attempts, as the Wild are 10th in the sport with 30.5 shot attempts against per game, while the Devils are sitting in 5th place with just 28.3 opposing shots on goal per game. The under is 3-1-1 in their last 5 games played in New Jersey, so go with the under in this game, as it makes the most sense. Our total pick is under 6 goals. Nashville Predators vs Buffalo Sabres. Both teams currently find themselves pretty much in the same boat. Both are riding a 3-game losing skid, having been beaten with a count of 7-0 in their last game on Sunday. Still, while both are still in the race to make the 2023 Stanley Cup playoffs, the Predators are in a slightly better position, sitting just 5 points off the second wild card of the Western Conference, but with 3 valuable games in hand. Prior to the current skid, Nashville had dropped just 3 of its previous 11 decisions. And while the team's most recent record against the Sabres is not an appealing one, 3 straight losses, the Preds have still banked 8 triumphs on their past 10 trips to Buffalo, where the hosts haven't managed to win a single contest on the last 4 tries, conceding a whopping 22 goals in the process. Our team pick is Nashville Predators. These offenses as of late have been absolutely brutal, as the Predators are averaging just 1.25 goals in their last 4 games, while the Sabres are scoring a lesser 2.2 goals in their previous 5 games right now. Throughout the regular season, these teams are not close to attempting too many shots, as Buffalo is 12th with 32.2 shot attempts per game, while Nashville is 23rd in the league with 30.2 shot attempts per game up to this point. All in all, go with the under in this game, as it seems to be the better option in this matchup. Florida Panthers vs Philadelphia Flyers. I have confidence that Florida will win this game based on the idea that they have more to play for and have been the hotter team as of late, and the plus 150 spread compared to a minus 170 is too tempting to resist. It could be very easy for Florida to add an empty netter at the end of the game if necessary. Florida has their main offensive pieces healthy, while Philadelphia is out one of their top scorers. As long as Florida stays disciplined on defense, they should be able to cruise to an easy victory. They cannot let easier games such as these slip away in the midst of earning a playoff spot. I think they will bring the necessary intensity into the game and come out firing, living up to their potential as the team with the most shots per game. Philadelphia is 3-10 in their last 13 home games, and Florida is 39-12 in their last 51 versus a team with a losing record. Take Florida with the puck line. Florida's offense should be ready to compete in a big way, and Philadelphia's defense, including Carter Hart, has not been at its best recently. Florida's defense is also nowhere near elite, so I expect Philadelphia to punch in at least 2 goals. If there was any time for Philadelphia's power play to come alive, this would be the game. Sergei Bobrovsky also has not been as great as he was earlier on in the year. His backup is injured and there is relatively low experience behind Bobrovsky in net, leading to an opportunity for more goals to be scored. With Florida fighting to earn a spot in the Eastern Conference playoffs, I expect them to shoot early and often to produce several goals. Take the over 6.5 goals. Carolina Hurricanes vs Rangers. While New York is on a hot streak and playing at home, a closer look would show that the Rangers are not as fearsome in this contest. They won their last 4 games against teams out of or barely holding on to a playoff spot. They are 1-4 in their last 5 versus a team with a winning percentage of more than .600, and the Hurricanes match up well against New York's power play with the 3rd best penalty killing unit in the NHL. Carolina is due for a win, and I believe this game will help them officially claim the throne in the Metro Division. New York may score more goals per game overall, but Carolina is far and away better at creating shot opportunities. They are also great in the face-off circle compared to New York, a factor that will be huge should the Rangers be on a power play. Take Carolina with the money line. Given the intensity of the game on top of Carolina's defense and Shesterkin in net for New York, I expect these 2 teams to score no more than 5 goals total. New York has scored 13 goals in their last 2 games, but I expect that number to fall with this game. In addition, they have given up 0 goals in their last 2 games. I expect both teams to be in prime form, as each team has a reason to need a win in this scenario. These 2 teams will look to limit their mistakes and not take as many chances, resulting in a lower score total. Take the under 6 goals. Toronto Maple Leafs vs Islanders. This is going to be a great game between 2 of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. The Islanders look to step up on their home ice, but the Maple Leafs, who have won back-to-back games, look to control this game from the first period. The Maple Leafs, who average 3.42 goals per game, should constantly find the back of the net with Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, and the rest of the forward unit, establishing a strong offensive zone presence and creating open shots with great puck movement. The Maple Leafs, who allow only 2.68 goals per game, should limit the Islanders' offense with Mark Giordano, Justin Hull, and the rest of the defensive unit, creating turnovers in the defensive zone and limiting shots on the net, allowing goaltender Ilya Samsonov to make plenty of big saves. The Maple Leafs should win the game to extend their winning streak to 3 games. Take the Maple Leafs money line as home favorites. Both teams have been very good at keeping the puck out of the net. Defense and goaltending have both been very good for the Leafs this season. They rank 5th in goals against per game and 7th in shots against per game. Ilya Samsonov has a record of 24-8-3 with a 2.35 GAA and .917 SV%. Samsonov ranks 5th in GA, tied for 6th in SV%, and tied for 3rd in shutouts among all goalies in the league. Goaltending has been very good for the Islanders this season. New York ranks 6th in goals against per game. Ilya Sorokin has a record of 25-19-6 with a 2.37 GAA and .925 SV%. Sorokin ranks 6th in GAA, 3rd in SV%, and tied for 1st in shutouts among all goalies in the league. The under is 7-3 in the last 10 meetings between these 2 teams. This will be a lower scoring game, and the under will hit. Take the under, 6 goals. Arizona Coyotes vs Winnipeg Jets. The Coyotes have won 4 games in a row, but I like the Jets to step up on their home ice and control this game. The Jets, who average 3.01 goals per game, should pile on the goals against a Coyotes defense that allows 3.44 goals per game, with Kyle Connor, Pierre-Luc Dubois, and the rest of the forward unit carrying the puck into the offensive zone and creating open shots with great puck movement. The Jets, who allow only 2.83 goals per game, should limit the Coyotes' offense with Josh Morrissey, Brendan Dillon, and the rest of the defensive unit, creating turnovers in the defensive zone and limiting shots on the net, allowing goaltender Connor Hellebuyck to make plenty of big saves. The Jets should win the game and cover the spread in a dominant performance on their home ice. Our team pick is Jets minus 1.5 goals. The Jets' offense has been struggling recently. Winnipeg scored 3 or fewer goals in 8 of the last 10 games. They rank 21st in goals per game and 20th in shots per game. However, the defense and goaltending have been very good for Winnipeg this season. The Jets rank 11th in goals against per game and 11th in shots against per game. In the last 10 meetings between these 2 teams, Winnipeg averages 2.60 goals per game and Arizona averages 2.10 goals per game. The under is 6-3 in the last 10 meetings between these 2 teams. This will be a lower scoring game and the under will hit. Take the under, 6 goals. Detroit Red Wings vs St. Louis Blues. The Blues have won back-to-back games and look to step up and overwhelm a struggling Red Wings team. The Blues, who average 3.12 goals per game, should pile on the goals with Jordan Kyrou, Robert Thomas, and the rest of the forward unit carrying the puck into the offensive zone and creating open shots with quick puck movement. The Blues should limit the Red Wings' offense, which averages only 2.93 goals per game, with Nick Leddy, Justin Falk, and the rest of the defensive unit creating turnovers in the defensive zone and limiting shots on the net, allowing goaltender Thomas Greiss to make plenty of big saves. The Blues should win the game with a strong performance on their home ice to extend their winning streak to 3 games. Take the Blues money line as home favorites. Unsurprisingly, the strength for both of these young teams is their offensive units, and with limited talent in net, this one should feature plenty of goals, as the over is 4-0-1 in the past 5 head-to-head clashes between these teams. For the Red Wings, the over is 5-1 in their past 6 games played against teams with a losing record, and for the Blues, the over is 4-1 in their past 5 matchups against teams with a losing record, and with so much of a focus on offensive firepower, don't expect a low-scoring affair here. Our total pick is over 6 goals. Seattle Kraken vs Dallas Stars. After struggling in their first year in the league, the Kraken have taken a major step forward in 2022-23, and unfortunately for them, it's given them a poor head-to-head record against most teams in the Western Conference. The Stars are one of those teams, as they have a 4-1 record against Seattle in their past 5 head-to-head matchups, and in 2 games this season, they went 2-0, so it's safe to say that this is Dallas's game to lose. Our team pick is Dallas. The goaltending is certainly a highlight for Dallas, and the Kraken have players in net with a great chance of standing on their head, but it's the offensive talent like Jason Robertson, Jared McCann, Roope Hintz and Matty Beniers that lead the way. In the Kraken's last 6 overall games, the over comes in at 5-1, and for the Stars, the over is 9-1-1 in their past 11 overall games, so in a blockbuster showdown between 2 playoff-ready teams, we should see plenty of scoring opportunities. Keep it simple, take the over. Calgary Flames vs Anaheim Ducks. The last time these teams met, March 10, Anaheim came away with a big 3-1 victory in Calgary. The Flames will likely be looking for a little revenge, and Vlader will be looking to get a little rhythm going, as he has not played since February 28. That would seem to give Anaheim a bit of an edge here, but Calgary has scored 12 goals over their last 2 games and 20 over their last 4. They have been playing very well on the road of late, going 3-0-1 in their last 4, and that included victories in Dallas, Minnesota, and Vegas, 3 spots where it is not easy to win. The Flames have not played well traditionally, and Anaheim, 6-32, but this team has to feel an incredible sense of urgency. If they do not win games like this, they are never going to catch Winnipeg. Look for them to explode early and control play in the 3-goal victory. Calgary is 4-1 in their last 5 games when playing on 0 days rest. Our team pick is: take the Calgary Flames at -1.5 goals. Both of these teams have trended over this season, with the over going 35-33-2 in Flames games this year and 37-33 in Ducks games. Anaheim's been the worst defensive team in the NHL this season, allowing the most goals in the NHL, giving up the 2nd most expected goals and the 2nd most high-danger shots in the league. Calgary has generated the 13th most expected goals and the 13th most high-danger shots in the league and should be able to generate offense here and score pretty easily. I don't think the Flames have been great defensively either, so the Ducks should be able to contribute a few goals here to put this game over the total. Our total pick is over 6.5 goals. Vegas Golden Knights vs Vancouver Canucks. This is a battle of strength versus strength, as Vancouver has won 5 straight games at home and Vegas has won their last 4 games on the road. Vancouver is likely recognizing that they are out of the playoff picture, but they have not played like that, going 7-1-0 over their last 8. This is a team with nothing to lose and are putting it all on the line, so Vegas is definitely going to have their hands full. The road team has won 4 of the last 5 meetings between these teams, but Vancouver is the one exception, defeating Vegas at home on April 12, 2022, 5-4. They are virtually always the underdog against the Golden Knights and are 3-1 in the last 4 meetings overall. Our team pick is to take the Vancouver Canucks. The total for the last time these teams met went under, and that is the pick I am going with in this specific division matchup. The Canucks have had issues on the defensive side of the ice on the season, but in their last 8 games, are giving up an average of 2.00 goals per game. They will play well on D again, and the last time they faced the Golden Knights, they only gave up 1 goal. The Golden Knights will also play well on defense, and they only gave up 2 goals in winning their last game. This game will be a lower scoring defensive clash, which is why the under is the winning pick.